Hey folks, welcome to Movement Monday with Ryan and Ray. We have special guest Nalana with us today as well. Sorry we're a little bit late. We had a meeting run over, so it kind of just pushed us back a tiny bit. But here we are, again, touching base just for Movement Monday. Today we're going to jump in. I guess we should probably let Nalana introduce herself. Hi, Nalana. Are you there? Can you hear me?
All right. I think I have a little lag time here. Well, I am here. I can hear you. Yeah. So, okay. So I'm
okay. Great.
So I'm running for a bit through Innovative, and so I'm a fitness coach. I started coaching, got certified about 2 years ago, and finally started working at a gym. Group personal fitness training, and I do functional fitness training, which is great as we age. We start to lose mobility, and so what we do in that session is just basic everyday movements. So exercises, it mimics movements, getting out of a car, reaching for something in a cupboard, getting up and down off the floor, just to help as we basically out of my session are 60, 70. So for them, it's about being strong, would get for their grandkids. And one of the questions that we asked them is if there was a fire, or stay under the smoke to save your life, could you do it? Could you crawl across the floor? Could you grab a grandchild? So that's the main questions that we ask, because that's, could save a life, save your pet's life. So it's all about staying strong. We start to lose muscle in our 30s. So the sessions that I actually coach 5 sessions a night, but they're basically strength and just move slowly, movement, that type of thing. So that's a brief overview. So I don't know if that's what you were looking for.
No, that was great. We got most of it. You're going in and out a little bit. Your connection seems to be delayed. Ryan, are you catching that on your end as well?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. So, but I think we got the gist of most of everything that you said, and it's awesome because I actually just reviewed one of our past sessions that talked about moving as you get into your older ages, where I talked about my grandparents who are in their mid to late 80s and how they inspired me to start moving at a younger age, and hopefully to be able to add quality of life as I get older into life and be able to keep moving and stay mobile. So that fits right in, and I dig that energy because one of the topics that we regularly discuss is that movement is different as you get older. Ryan and I are both in our mid 40s, and it looks a lot different than it did in our mid 20s or even our mid 30s. And so that that's it comes with the territory, but also, it's important to still keep doing it. Don't give up just because it's different, just adjust accordingly. So that's awesome. But yeah, I mean, and that, that's something that people don't think about is, if there was a fire, could you get out of your house? That's just such, it's so realistic of that. You don't think about that all the time or every day. And so just the ability of, what can you do or how fast can you do it? And you don't want to be, limit yourself because if you had a choice to keep moving and you chose not to, that could be worse off for you than than if you worked to keep active. So that's awesome. You said you have 5 classes. Is that what you said?
Yes. So yeah, I coach 3 training setting, and then I do 2 sessions of the functional fitness. So yeah, it's a nice evening.
Cool. Yeah. Well, and I'm grateful that we moved to a later time because I know that we've been trying to get you on with us for a while now, and your classes go later than our earlier time was. So I'm grateful that we're able to have you on and have you join us today.
Are you guys losing me or am I losing you?
We're losing you.
Okay. I wonder if I should switch. I'm connected. I don't know what's happened. All right.
Yeah, if you want to try switching, you can
Sorry
do that.
about that.
Ryan and I will just talk
Can you hear me
amongst
now?
ourselves.
No.
Well, good deal. Oh, Ryan, while we're oh, I'm sure she'll be back here shortly. So,
Yeah.
real quick, we'll just touch base on what you and I did yesterday, along with 3 friends, Spartan race.
Yeah.
How are you feeling today?
I'm actually feeling pretty good. I've got noticed a little blister on my right heel, but other than that, I'm actually feeling pretty good. So how are you
Yeah.
doing?
I'm doing all right. As I texted you earlier that my wrists were a little bit sore, and I texted Casey to ask her, if her wrists were sore, because her and I do the same workouts, and
Yeah.
so she said, yeah, but I think it was more trying to grab onto the walls and hold on so tight more than it was the kettlebells. And so, I thought the kettlebell carries holding them up overhead was the culprit for my wrist being sore, but I didn't really consider the fact that grabbing onto the walls and holding on, it does put a lot of strength on your wrist. So I'm sure it's a combination of the two. And it was kind of one of those things where, okay. But it was a lot of fun. I knowing how I felt today, even though, my muscles aren't sore. It was just a different kind of soreness. And I guess just muscles that I haven't used. So like my legs aren't sore. My biceps weren't sore or anything. It was just different parts that I don't typically use. So, but not too bad at all.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I felt pretty good. Felt pretty good. Even this morning, like you sent me that message, I went to the gym and took me a little bit to get loosened up, but once I got the body warmed up and loose, I was feeling good. So I was able to do everything that I wanted to do this morning and felt good about it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, and I think that my biggest setback is my tailbone is a little sore. I'm pretty sure that I bruised it, and so trying to get through. It's progressively gotten lighter throughout the day. So I'm going to say that, yeah, it was, it should be better by within the next couple of days. So grateful for that, because I do have the next one coming up on Saturday. So
yeah.
there she is.
There we go.
Yeah. Deal. But yeah, so I mean, I wasn't too sure, and I wanted to touch base and share. I've never done an ice bath before, and so, we, for those of you that may have seen our pictures or whatnot, we all got treated to an ice bath following the race, and and I say it lightly when I say it's only a 5K, because to some people a 5K, might be more than they would typically do, but with it being a 5K, it was still a lot, a lot to put your body through it, with hills and sand and climbing and whatnot. But I was grateful for that ice bath, and I gotta say, I enjoyed that. I wasn't sure if I would, but and I definitely think it helped with keeping me from being sore today, or I'd like to think that maybe I'm just in that good a shape that maybe I'm just not sore, but I'm sure that maybe it's a little bit of both, but was grateful for that opportunity, and to have been able to try it. And now I know I can do it, for one, and two, that it definitely benefited me. So with the race coming up next Saturday, I'm hoping to look for an opportunity. That this one though has actually 2 ice obstacles in it, so yeah.
You just have to hang out in those for a few minutes before you move on.
There you go. Yeah.
How long were you guys in the ice bath?
We were in there for about, I think, 4 minutes. Is that what she said?
Yeah, about 3 to 4 minutes, somewhere in there.
Okay.
Yeah, so it wasn't too bad. I got in last after everybody, because there was a wait, and then so I tried to make sure that I was the last one out, since I was the last one in, but I probably was a little bit shorter than everybody else, and so I would have stayed in longer if I needed to, but I felt like now at that point I was like, all right, well, there was a line behind me too, so I got out as soon as everybody else was out. So yeah.
Yeah, no, it was good. I think if you can get through that first like minute and a half,
Yeah.
that initial like, and then okay, this is cold, but then your body kind of gets that numb, and then you're okay. So if you can get through that, you're golden. But yeah, that first like minute to a minute and a half, it gets your attention.
Yeah, and I guess probably what I appreciate most about it is because most races or events that you do don't really do much for recovery afterwards. They kind of expect you to know how to recover, and not everybody takes their proper recovery, especially the younger generation. They don't necessarily see the importance of stretching all the time, because they bounce back so quick. But as we mentioned earlier, as you get older, you got to change the way you do things. And so I was really grateful to have some sort of a recovery there. Probably could have done more stretching afterwards, but we had an ice bath, so.
Yeah, I've never done it. I know it's great for helping with inflammation and all that. So impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and our my one buddy that went, Chris, I guess he's done it a couple times before, and he was very much, we have to do this. So, and so it wasn't hard to convince any of us that was something that we wanted to do, other than Josh, who said, no, I'm good. So yeah. Well, good deal. Yeah, and I wanted to touch base on that, but I also, wanted to take advantage of being able to have Nalana on with us now that we have a good connection,
Yeah.
and
Sorry about
and get some of your feedback. Just um, so just to clarify, you may have said it earlier, but it was cutting out. So is your clientele all of the elderly generation, or what is there a different
Yeah.
breakdown?
No, sorry, no, my dog's barking. No, I would say the average age group is probably probably 45.
Okay.
So yeah, so it's just it ranges. But I do have a steady or a nice well, my latest I'm all over the place. My 650 session is probably 65 and older. So
Okay.
yeah, we do have a nice age group, just depending on the time. So yeah, I would say 40, 45 is our average age.
Cool.
And that's really
And
that's kind of our focus, where I coach, is to kind of attract that age group in. So we do have some younger. We do have a dad and his daughter that come in. I think his daughter is maybe 14, so they do it
okay.
together. So I mean, so yeah, we're able to coach whoever, whatever age. But I know children, if they come with their parents, I don't, I would say if they're on their own, I'm not exactly sure if we have an age limit without a parent, but we do have two actually that come with their parents. So yeah, I think we lost Ryan now.
Yeah. Well, no, and that's awesome, and that's it's so important to have that, with your children. I mean, I guess it's not so important, but it's so cool, if you will. If you've seen any of Ryan and I's previous one, I do a lot with my 9-year-old, and he's obviously a lot more active than I am. He's just go go go, but it's just a cool camaraderie to be able to do that. We have a couple. I know for sure I have some that come to my classes in the morning. A daughter and her dad come in, and her dad, I'm going to say, is probably in his like late 40s, maybe early 50s, and so she's younger. But her mom used to come in too. Her mom had an injury, so doesn't come in much anymore. But just that dynamic of knowing that that she's there with her dad, and I kind of razz them a little bit, say, your daughter's going to beat you. So it's just, good fun with things like that. But, it's just a different type of connection that you get when you're, challenging yourself like that. And just great for, a different type of family dynamic. And I always get a kick out of, when family members coming together, and, even husbands and wives, when they come in and challenge each other. That's just it's nice to have a living accountability partner like that.
I love that. We have quite a few husband and wives that come in together, and I love it. It's great. And they're super supportive of each other, and some are more competitive than others. But yeah, I love seeing them coming together. It's
I
really
have I have one who the wife always says, "Don't put shame on our family's name," and she very much lives up to it. So they're both quite the athletic couple. So it's really a joke because it's like there's no shame coming out of you guys. So
that's good.
also, and you guys are here, so that's that's impressive in itself. So you're doing something with it. There's no shame. Do you? It's you versus you. But also, you better listen to your wife. Well, good deal. So what kind of what's the level of difficulty of the things that you guys do? Do you adjust, or do you have different variations that you can do based on the younger crowd or the older crowd, or how does that work?
Yeah, it's constant. I mean, it's up to the coach, of course. I mean, we have a
Mhm.
set plan that we have for each session, but of course, if you know of injuries, because we really want to, because it's more personal. We know of injuries they may have, so we work with that. So you may have certain people doing one exercise, but you know that Susie has a shoulder injury, so you're gonna make a slight modification for her, so that she's able to still continue to do the workout. So we can make it however. I mean, we use a lot of
Mhm.
TRX, we use a lot of bands, the BOSU, so we're able to adjust it and make it work for everyone. So yeah, so really it doesn't really the skill level can be all over. We have beginners, we have people who've been coming for 14 years. So it's all just adjusting it and working with each individual person and what they need.
Yeah, it sounds pretty familiar to or pretty similar to what we do at Orange Theory. So and that's it really is a universal workout because it's just a matter of how hard you want to work and
It-
what what accommodations you need to get you through it. But we'll get you through it, and we're going to do it safe because we don't need you to
yeah,
be injured because that you're no good to anybody trying to be in here injured. So
that's it exactly. And we stress, proper form. So I'm constantly walking around and making sure that they're staying in
mhm.
form. So yeah, and it's just like my mostly on Monday night it's all strength. So which is I love lifting weights is my most favorite thing. So for them it's all about slowing down with the movements, and the goal is to get stronger, so it's try to increase the weights. So more slow and controlled is how I coach, which is what I love. So and then you have cardio nights where people want to go, higher up, and it's fun. It's kind of fun sometimes when they want to keep it cardio, like going super fast. And I'm like, if you slow down, you increase the weights, you're still going to get your heart rate up. So you're still getting
Mhm.
cardio. You don't have to be jumping and doing all those things to get cardio. So as you see them realize that, then they're willing to push themselves a little bit more. And I love when they're doing something and they're not feeling it. And then when you show them again and they get that form right, and then the light bulb goes off and they're like, okay, I got it. That's much harder now. So that's just keeping them on track and seeing when they accomplish something, how happy they get. Our goal is at the last couple minutes is we work on a 2-minute plank. And I've seen them, I started coaching there in March, and I see them getting stronger and stronger and stronger. So we time it, and if they come down in 2 minutes or before, they just go back up. The goal was to be stronger than the previous time. And now they're hitting that 2 minutes, and I'm assuming we'll probably be pushing it to 3 minutes soon, because some of them are definitely stronger and able to do it. So that's exciting. I love watching them grow.
Yeah, no, I love that. That's, I mean, and that I know exactly what you mean. I've had members that come in for a long while, members that they took their first workout with me and have continued to come, and then when they I can recall one person in particular. I'm not a runner. I'm just going to power walk. I'm like, well, that's okay. That's an option. We give parameters for power walkers. And a couple of weeks ago, I noticed there's not a lot of walking going on that treadmill. And it's I'm, of course that's one that I wanted to call out and give credit where credit was due. Just saying you're moving on that treadmill, and it's just so awesome to see the progress like that. And for people like us, the three of us here that just want to help other people be better at everything that they're doing. Um, it just feels so good to know that you were a part of that and that you helped them to see what maybe they didn't see in themselves before. So um, that's awesome. Let's talk a little bit about what you're able to do. So when you're not coaching, what's your regimen like?
Well, a little bit of everything. No, okay. But yeah, so basically what I do now is I really focus on weight strength training. So I strength train probably 4 to 5 days a week. We do like at the gym that I go to, which I actually don't train where I coach just because it's further away. So I do a boot camp once a week normally, which is a lot of more stationary and heavier weights, which I love. And I do yoga on Sunday. So that's my way of recovering from everything I did the past week. I used to run. I don't run as much as I did. I do love to run hills. I love running up hills and walking down the hill. That's a nice challenge for me. It's just easier on my knees. Um, I used to cycle, not as much anymore. Pretty much now, lately, I've just really focused on weight training. My goal is just to get stronger, slightly bigger, bigger muscle. But so yeah, that's pretty much all I do. Now Sunday I did work on a corner garden, used a axe and a pick and tore out some weeds and got the ground all ready. So I love doing that too. I love pitchfork, like, you know, doing yard work. I love that. I love manual, that kind of work. So
Mhm.
yeah, so kind of just keep busy.
Could do, yeah. I think I mentioned this yesterday, Ryan, but I used to do yoga once a week on Wednesday nights, and I just haven't done it in a while. It kind of didn't fit into my schedule for a while, and now my Wednesday nights are open again, and my body's starting to realize that maybe that's something I need to prioritize a little bit more. That the hot yoga is typically what I do. I mean, even if it's just once a week, the recovery that you get from that, it's really like no other, because for me, I have a hard time slowing down enough to get stretches in, and so I'll do a stretch and I'll be like, I think that was 30 seconds, and it was probably like 10, 15. So when you're in a controlled, basically stretching session that's an hour long, helping you to stay calm and stay in that headspace, that it feeds my recovery a lot better there. And so I'm this close to jumping back into getting that yoga back in.
Oh, it is. It's so important because, and it's not easy. I know a lot of people think yoga is easy until they get there. But holding those poses and stretching, if you're throwing in an arm balance or whatever it might be, but it's definitely just that flexibility. But when you're holding those poses, it is not easy. But
Yeah.
I always feel afterwards that I've been to, like, I always kind of joke around and say that's like the chiropractor. Like we had our weekly adjustment. So yeah, but you can definitely push it up. Like next weekend, I'm actually doing a handstand workshop to work on that. I've done arm balance workshops too. So you can take your practice to all sorts of levels. I mean, it can be as simple as just going and stretching, or you can actually make it into where you're building a lot of strength too.
Yeah. Well, I have my aunt. I've talked about my aunt a few times in a couple of these, but my aunt was an aerobics instructor for like over 20 years. And, as she got older, her body, started to get tired, if you will. But she does yoga like 3, 4 times a week now. And she's always like, well, I don't know if I'm as strong as I used to be. I'm like, I think you are, because I've gone to yoga with her, and it's very much of I'm not trying to keep up with her. She's just got a different strength than I do, and it is, and I can do pretty well with the balancing and whatnot. I've got pretty good, strength in that sense, but there's just things that, if you haven't practiced, like everything else, you're not going to do as well as those that go on a regular basis. So
Yeah.
yeah.
A lot of it too, like a lot of times we notice when, like maybe a husband will come for the first time, a lot of people think they can muscle into a pose too, and it doesn't really work. It's working and progressing, and then you kind of just flow into the pose. So
Yeah.
even though somebody is super strong, it doesn't really mean that they can do the pose because they're trying to push their body to do something that's not really quite ready for it. So I don't really want people to think that you always have to be strong to do yoga, because it's a lot of it can be the flexibility part too.
Yeah.
And there's some poses, and everyone's built so different. There's some poses that I struggle with that other people like do like it's nothing, because we're all built different. I have a short waist, somebody might have longer legs or longer arms or whatever it is. So there's always going to be a challenging pose for people. And normally that's the pose that they really need. The ones you hate are the ones you need. The ones you love are the ones that you're really good at, so you want to keep doing those. But if something you hate and it's really challenging you, that's the one you want to work on because that's the one you really need.
Yeah. But and it's all about conditioning, just like most of anything else. You got to condition yourself to get to those, to that level, and you may be strong, but you're not that kind of strong. You're a different kind of strong. So,
Right.
I was chatting with you a short bit before we started here of what yesterday's race was for me, and that was very much of a reminder to me that I am strong in some ways, but there's still other things that I need to work on. So I'm much more looking forward to next week's run because I know that it's endurance based, and this last one was more strength based, and I've got the endurance part now. It's just I struggled with some of the obstacles that we did yesterday, and I got through. I went through and did their survey today. I did 15 out of the 19, so I'm not too disappointed, but I also didn't. Ryan got through all of them, so.
You got pushed out of your comfort zone, and Ryan was in his comfort zone. So
very much so. He was in his comfort zone, watching us struggle. So watching me struggle.
I love being there. Supporting you guys. I was comfortable through the whole thing, but I was more there to enjoy you guys experiencing it and going through it and trying to support you guys as much as I could so that you would have a good experience and want to come back and do it again. So I had an absolute blast. It was so much fun.
It was a lot of fun. I agree. And it was, definitely, it was daunting because I had heard about it last year and they had said that it's a lot, it's just a little bit more aggressive than the run that I'm doing next week. And I've done the one that I'm doing next week and I did that last year already. So I already knew what to expect. And so, it was, I might do another one.
I need to find
Good
one
deal. Go ahead. What was that?
I need to find one that doesn't have mud, and then I'll be good.
That's the best
good
part.
For the skin. It's good for the skin.
I'm afraid I'm gonna slip and fall, and I'm too old to get hurt. So
yeah.
dry land.
You're conditioned though. You won't get hurt. See.
No.
Well, before we wrap up, just wanted to touch base real quick. We're all three promoters for Innovative Nutrition, Innovative Posh. Just wanted to give you a chance to talk about your regimen and how that fits into, your lifestyle and give a little bit of feedback on that. It's nice to have a female face on here versus just Ryan and I talking about what we do. Go ahead.
Well, it's definitely going to be switching soon, as you know. So
yes.
I guess I can talk about what I did. Some of my favorite products was always the energy patch, just because of muscle recovery. I do the energy drink as well, but and the support patch has been my go-to because about 5 weeks ago I was practicing my handstand and I landed a little bit different. I actually dislocated my pinky, so I was using a support patch in the morning and at night, just for that extra, just a little extra kick for healing. And the interesting thing is when I bent my finger, it actually was bent to the left, but it bent right where there's that break in your bone naturally. So I feel like the support, which I've always used daily, I think is keeping my ligaments, everything strong. So when it wasn't a terrible injury like what it could have been. So those have always been my go-tos. So moving forward at this point, so now to be honest, my schedule is changing up. So I don't really, I'm sure I'll still continue to use the CBD and the complete, but I'm not as sure how to answer that going forward. I don't want to kind of throw this off, but I don't really, we have a new routine coming soon. So I'm not sure what that's going to be.
Yeah. Well, and go ahead, Brian.
Well, I was saying, if go a little broader and not just like supplementation, just as far as kind of overall nutrition, how have you found that fits in with you personally working out? And then now that you're a coach, how does that benefit some of your clients?
With
just how, if eating better versus not eating good, how that can affect how you feel physically and how that can affect workouts and.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm definitely an 80-20. So during the week I do good, but on the weekends I don't guarantee that I'm not going to have some pizza. Like I always joke,
Balance.
I work out so I can eat because I'm definitely an eater. I like food. So, but yeah, I mean, basically, I do definitely during the week do high protein. That's my. So I'm one to do chicken, a lot of vegetables, hummus. My favorite snack, I love olives. So, but I know that if I would, well, when I do eat the pizza on the weekend, I don't always feel the best. So I definitely know that when you change your diet and you're not eating as healthy, it's definitely detrimental. I know the things that I can't eat, donuts, those things I can't even function after eating those. So I definitely do stay healthy as I can during the week, but I definitely, if on the weekends, if I do a burger, I still do the no bun. So a lot of times I'll do a side salad and make like a burger salad. So I don't know if I'm really answering your question though, because I'm not a nutritionist. So I do what my body feels good with, which is definitely high protein. I do carbs as well. I try to stay away from sugars, but I'm definitely fruits. I like fruits. So I'm not a keto. I gotta have my apples, my grapes. I live on watermelon throughout the summer. Um, so I know that those types of things work good for my pre-workout and then protein after. So, but I'm not huge on nutrition. I mean, I'm not a nutritionist, so I don't offer that to our clients that I coach because that's not something that I'm certified in.
Yeah, no, that was answering my question because Ray and I have talked. He's obviously done the keto for a while, and I took a stab at 30 days of no sugar, and that was hard.
Yeah.
But just I think all of us we're all kind of on the same page of eating a little cleaner, eating a little healthier, but doing things in moderation as well. It's okay to have some of that not so good stuff, but not making a habit of, oh, I'm having this every day. I'm having this every day. Because I think, like you said, you can tell a difference how your body feels when you do eat some of that stuff. And you can tell a difference when you're eating the good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It goes both ways. So no, that was a great answer. I had a feeling that that's what you would say, but I just wanted to hear the words come out of your mouth. So no,
I
that
eat
was
a
very good.
Well,
I like to eat, that's for sure.
yeah, and it track. I mean, and everything you said from start with the patches up to your diet and how you eat tracks with basically what Ryan and I have discussed in the past. For one, I'm pretty sure that in every episode we talk about the energy and how that promotes muscle recovery. We talk about the joint support because as we get older, that becomes more important. And so those are two that we probably have discussed more than, and also the CBD for obvious reasons. Those are three that we've discussed on a regular basis. We don't give enough attention to the complete patch because it's basically your multivitamin, and it just seems natural that everybody takes a multivitamin, assuming that, but it's not always the case. So we probably could do that, but that tracks lines up. But also we are real in that we're not nutritionists. We don't we're not having our portion chicken out every day, and we're also not 25-year-old bodybuilders either. So it's very much of a you have to live life in moderation and make wise choices, and know that if you decide to go more than 80-20 and you stretch that 20 to 30, then your waistline is probably going to stretch with the 20 as well. So
Exactly.
that's for me personally anyway. I know that too well. So and that's partially why I got away from keto is I recognized that there was some benefit to the carbs that I was missing just because of my workout regimen, and the more active that I am, the more that I need those carbs. And so and it's different lifestyles, different things work for different people. So but it like I said, it completely tracks with one, what Ryan was expecting you to say, and two, with with what we've talked about in the past. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else, Ryan?
No, yeah, I think that was good. Nalana, is there anything else you'd like to Any final words, final thoughts, words of encouragement?
Encouragement. I could just say you're never too old to start working out. That's for sure. I mean, I had actually a couple weeks ago, a lady started, she was 70, I think she was 73. And she said that she asked who was the oldest client there. And I told her I wasn't sure because I didn't coach every class, but she wanted to be the poster child for the gym. And she said, I don't want to live. She goes, I want to live. So, and though she was like, I want to be strong. And this was, I think she's 74 maybe, but I mean, that's my mentality. I'm not stopping. I'm 55 and I'm not stopping. I'm still going to be working out, pushing it. I mean, when I go to boot camps, most of the time, the average at my gym, I want to say the age, it may be slightly higher too, but I can tell you that we run circles around the younger people that are in those classes. So, so that's my goal. I'm just going to keep getting stronger and staying with it. And just as I age, I just want to age gracefully, and I feel great. So I thank, my workouts and their supplements to that.
Yeah. Well, and how inspiring is that woman that wants to be the poster child for.
And she has a purple streak in her hair. She's awesome. I love her.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, no, I love it.
I don't think Ray and I can pull that off.
Yeah. Well, alrighty. Well, we'll wrap it up. Before we wrap up, just want to remind everybody that we do have our episodes loaded up to YouTube. It's Movement Monday with Ray and Ryan on YouTube. Please take a look at it if you didn't get a chance to watch it live. The episodes are always posted there, as well as on our Facebook pages. Again, if you'd like any more information about supplementation, vitamins, skincare products, whatnot, we have the Innovative Posh line of products. If you'd like to learn more about how you can save some money on those products and maybe make some money in that business, reach out to any of us as well. We appreciate you all joining us today. Please give us a like, give us a follow. And Nalana, thank you very much for your input today.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm looking at the time now. This is definitely the longest we've been able to go because you had such good information to share. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Nalana.
Thank you. It was fun.
Yeah.
Well, good deal. Well, good night, guys, and we'll talk to you later.
Take care.
Have a good one.
Bye now.